Hello everyone, so a little update here on the situation on Kursk. Now, there aren't too many videos shared to look at. Ukraine hasn't shared many. They seem to be, quite rightly, keeping quiet about where they are and what they're doing. But Russia has shared a few which are worth a look. First, I'm going to play a small clip of a longer video of a Russian civilian evacuating near Sudzha in Kursk. He encounters a row of TM62 mines strung across the road. Now, firstly, you can see that the town is pretty much deserted. No signs of civilians other than a handful of vehicles, and it's unknown if these are abandoned, with the civilians leaving on foot or in other cars. And there's no sign at all of any Russian military. Now, the presence of the TM62 mines blocking the road here suggests to me that Russia has abandoned the settlement. I don't think they'd mind the road like this if Russia was going to be using it, as it had stopped their own reinforcements and stopped their own retreat. Also, check the destroyed civilian vehicle that you can see. I think this stumbled onto Russia's own anti-tank mines and came a cropper here. So these were put down before civilians had actually fully evacuated, and one of them got impaled on Russia's own sword, so to speak. I'm going to put the full version of this clip with the original sound at the end of this video. It's worth a watch. I have tried to translate it via an online app, but I've no idea how accurate the translations are, but definitely worth a quick watch. The mine barrier was geolocated by Mark Lassen on Twitter to be here. Now you can see this is actually beyond Sudzha, near the So Delicious department store, now going to be renamed So Abandoned. But given the location of these mines, it's also likely that all the other Scrabble winning town names in this area that you can see have also been abandoned as well. Because, as you can see, this is the major road heading northeast out of this area. So it seems very likely this area completely abandoned by Russian forces and likely completely evacuated by civilians. Our next clip is a short one showing a Ukrainian marder being hit by a drone. A short clip, but an important one, as this shows that this is no hodgepodge raid like the last few times, with only a handful of MRAPs. Ukraine is sending Western donated heavy armour in here. We saw some strikers supposedly in Kursk yesterday, but they weren't geolocated, so it was unsure if they were in Kursk or supporting operations in Sumy on the Ukrainian side of the border. But that's definitely over the border, the first confirmation we have, I believe, of Western armour being in Russia itself. Now, the geolocation which has been on screen doesn't tell us much, but if we zoom out, we can see it's in Sverdlikovo. This is also important as it shows that Russia is putting up a fight. Even though we've seen the frontline troops here defending the border, who look largely to be conscripts, given the fact some of them look like the balls haven't dropped yet, and we've got a few bits of bum fluff on their chin, have surrendered in droves, there are rear elements who are fighting, chiefly the drone operators. So, hopefully, Ukraine can expand further here. Get the border crossing of the border regions out of FPV drone range so Ukraine can establish safer supply routes. If, of course, this is going to be a longer term invasion, and at the moment, it certainly looks like it is. On screen now, a screenshot of an excellent interactive map by Svoboda. I've linked it in the description, and it's definitely worth bookmarking and keeping an eye on. So this shows Ukraine's push so far, as well as key battles and incidents and that sort of thing. So you can see also highlighted here is the nuclear power plant, and that extending little push in that direction is very interesting. I'm starting to think the nuclear power plant is the target here. So looking like a big push to basically smash through Russian positions to the power plant, get Ukrainians inside, and then force some sort of negotiations from Russia. I assume the power plant can be shut down safely without risk of a nuclear incident, and that may be what Ukraine threaten here. If Russia doesn't negotiate on Ukraine's terms, they completely shut it down, and that would be very, very bad for Russia. According to a Russian website, Rosnergoatom, it says the Kursk power plant is the key energy supply for central Chernozemya, which produces 48% of Russia's iron ore, 13.5% of steel, 19% of ferrous metals, 9.6% of meat, and 19.5% of sugar in Russia. Basically, if Ukraine gets her hands on this power plant and threatens to shut it down, then Ukraine has Putin by his short and curlies. Ukraine is now 31 kilometers from its goal. if indeed the speculation is correct and that is the plan. It is certainly looking that way, but we can't rule out other goals such as simply capturing a weak area of Russia's and say holding it, or cutting off supply lines south towards Kharkiv and Belgrade. We definitely can't say for certain, but Ukraine clearly has a plan here. This isn't a small nuisance cross-border raid like the Freedom for Russia Legion's ones in the past. This is big. A lot of manpower and a lot of vehicles and Western donated vehicles committed to it. There are also reports of SAM systems being moved near the border to stop Russia from using close air support. So, we are going to have to wait and see if the goal is the power plant or something else. Now, remember at the end of the video, I'm going to play for the full version of the clip we looked at earlier, with the guy driving through the abandoned town. It has subtitles, but before we check this out, I'm going to play a quick video from Cars for Ukraine showing the vehicle purchase with the ongoing fundraiser, with a link in the description if you wish to help out. There's also a link to Svoboda's map as well. So, thanks so much for watching, and take care everybody.
Hi folks, I'm driving a Sun Patrol, amazing car, one owner for the last 12 years. That's one of the first vehicles we bought for medics of the 3rd Assault Brigade, loading into a lorry today en route to Ukraine. It's already stacked up with some supplies, traveling with it, so stay tuned, there will be more.
Вот, выезжаем. Забрали еще попутчика, вот людей с собакой. Полная машина. Люди еще просятся ехать, но некуда брать. Через переезд пойдем. Сюда хоть за домами, может, коптер нас не застанет. Потому что в ту сторону стреляют. Надо. Уже пулеметная очередь слышна сегодня. Вообще, поэтому решились вот.
Да, пулеметные, это, наверное, коптеры сбивают.
Не знаю.
Потому что их ночью было, но я слышал.
Да, они летают у нас там.
Да?
Да, сегодня хохлядский.
Сюда могут сделатьоворотку.
Вот вокзал, ну все. Я уезжал. Мы в Солдатском пробыли ночь. Я был в командировке в Смоленске.
Ага.
И сюда не мог попасть. Жену дети вывезли. Потом же вот она прилет был, пожалуйста.
Да, понятно.
Вон стекла выбиты.
Шарашили повсюду.
Да.
Так вчера вообще туда шарашили, это гаубица 50 снарядов зашарашила в одну точку. Я прям обалдел. Шарашит и шарашит. Шарашит
Да,
и шарашит.
вот все.
В одну точку. 50 снарядов.
Я же говорю, даже моему терпению пришел конец. Сегодня ночь так. Вот тут, ну, это танки наши ездили, все пораскорачивали. Нам надо Курску быстро пересечь. Вот что. Мы вчера... Я приезжал домой по Беловской. Там же поубитые валяются. Вон, люди забрали, короче, его свои. Вон что-то.
Да. Убитые, да?
Да. Вон попало. Машина стоит разбита. Да ладно. Вот она, ветки сюда, прилеты.
Ага. Вон машина вся.
Да, вот еще одна. Все, бьют тут капитально. Вот она.
Ой-ой-ой, что тут творится?
Колеса, все поразбито, стекла.
Ой-ой-ой.
Вот она, машины, все попобились. Уматываем бегом отсюда. Вот они куда и бьют. Вот машины тоже попобиты. Кольцо. Здесь тоже все.
Ой,
Машины стоят. Поле вон здесь, да. Все попобито. Мины валяются, видел?
Да, да.
Кассетными минами. Ни хрена себе сколько.
Ага, ужас. Смотри, что творят. Это вообще.
Куда ты, Нива, едешь, блин?
Готовности никакой. Глянь, сколько тут побитых.
Вот она, еще машина побита.
Боже.
Каски валяются, наверное, военные. Это вот она, наша машина с ДРСУ сгоревшая.
Ой-ой-ой-ой-ой.
Все. Вовремя мы, дай бог, уехать. Вот она, стекла тоже, видно, побито все было. Вот она.
Вон машины. Шли по целине.
На поле,
там,
ага.
Там поймали.
Да, вот она тоже. Коптер, да, коптер, вот кида.
Наверное. Гоняли. Потому что их немерено.
Вот
А
это.
мы 5 числа пошли в центр.
центр, пошли, идем, и на Баянском повороте вылетает над нами коптер, завис. Мы уже думали, сейчас скинет чего-то.
Да, вот солдаты наши. Ай, блин.
Кошмар. Что это там, наверное, туда нельзя. Надеюсь. Да. А,